Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Srinidhi and I hope you're all doing good. So I'm here with my first book haul in this channel. Okay, I'd never done a book haul, so this is my first time doing a book haul in front of you guys. So yeah, I went to a book fair happening in Chennai. So I live in Chennai, so there's this book haul happening and it's happening till Jan 17 and I went with my friends and I have bought some handful of books and I thought of sharing it with you guys. Why not? Yeah, I've got these many books, so like 6 books, and I thought of sharing it with you. It's like very handful of books, but yeah, it also worth a book haul. So let's talk about the books that I bought. So yeah, the first book that I will start by is Molly Moon's incredible book of hypnotism. Talking about this book revolves around a small girl who is an orphan and who lives in an orphanage, okay, and they don't treat her well. So one day what she do is she goes to the local library and she finds a book, okay, which talks about hypnotism. She gets that book and she masters the art of hypnotism, okay. With the help of that book, she hypnotizes a lot of people. Every story has a villain. So yeah, in the story there's a stalker who is stalking her and who wants that book of hypnotism because that stalker wants what Molly Moon has. Obviously not for a good cause. So what happens with the stalker and Molly and how she finds him or how she rescues herself and how she rescues this book from the stalker. That's what the story talks about. And yeah, this actually is a series of 5 books. It's written by Georgia Byng and it's of a series of 5 books. So in each book talks about one supernatural power. Molly Moon masters at least one supernatural power in each book. In this, she masters a power of hypnotism. That's what this book talks about. And the fun and interesting thing about this book is this book got a movie also. A movie was adapted from this book and I think it was released in 2015, I guess. So it also worth a watch. So please read this book if you like such kind of genre. The next book that I bought in the fair was Digital Fortress, written by Dan Brown. So Dan Brown is a very, very famous author when it comes to thrillers. So I read one of his books. It's called as Angels and Demons and it's a sci-fi thriller and it was really amazing. If you don't know where to start, you can start with that book. And this book, okay, Digital Fortress, it's a techno thriller, you can say it in that way. So there's this protagonist who's called as Susan Fletcher, who is a brilliant cryptographer and works at NSA. NSA is National Security Agency. Okay, she works as a professor. There's this complex code release which could cripple the entire US intelligence, okay, because that code is threatening the government to expose some of their secrets. So Susan has to find a way to break that code because even the supercomputer in NSA couldn't find it couldn't solve the code. So Susan has to take in charge and she has to save the entire US intelligence. So if you like such kind of work like techno thrillers, you can get this book. The next book that I've got was Envious Casca, written by Georgette Heyer. So yeah, again a thriller. Okay, this book talks about a rich man called as Nathaniel Herriard, who is owner of a lavish Lexham Manor. This is a Christmas thriller, so he calls 6 of his guests, okay? He invites 6 of them because it's Christmas time and he calls them and they come, and so this is a Christmas time and holiday, but Nathaniel is murdered. But by whom? We don't know. So detective comes and he solves this case. And while talking about the backstory of these 6 people, so okay, when there's a murder happen, obviously the people present at the house will become prime suspects. So the same thing happened. So these 6 people, when the detective is investigating all these people, he finds there are some evil motives with these guests, okay? When detective was going through or talking with these guests, none of them seems to be right. So that's what this book talks about. And who murdered him? It seems nice, right? I like such kind of books. You know, for me, every page should be a page turner. I should like that book. Like, it should be very fast. So that's the reason I'm not very much into romance. I'm very much into thriller because they're fast paced. The next book is, ta-da! The Haunting Adeline. Who doesn't know about this book, dude? If you're a romance lover, you would obviously know this book. This book has a lot of trigger warnings, and it also have like very, very dark romance. If you're a person who want to read something very spicy, dark, you can go for this book. So I already have this book, but the book that I have, the version of this book that I have is very bad in quality, and I thought of getting a good book of good quality so that it's readable. That's the reason. But I already read 10 chapters of this book and it's amazing. So this book revolves around an author who's named as Adeline, who lives in this mansion, okay, or which is inherited from her grandmother. So when she goes into this manor, she finds a lot of secrets revolving around this manor. This manor itself enough to bring me chills into my bones, because manor is so creepy. The manor, when talking about this manor, it gives you that chills, it gives you that creepiness when you just talk about this manor. But on the other side, you need someone to spice up the story. We have a stalker in this book. He stalks the author, he falls in love with this author, and what happens next is next. So also Adeline relates herself with her grandmother, because when she went inside the manor, she finds a diary or a journal of her grandmother, and their story matches along with each other, because even her grandmother had a stalker just like her. It's worth the hype, but I didn't read the book completely, but I'm looking forward to make a separate review for this book. I will read this book for sure. The next book is The Secret Garden. So this book reminds me of my childhood version. I was the person who liked Black Beauty, such kind of books, but now as an adult I've started liking more thrillers, okay. So this book is called as The Secret Garden, written by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Okay, sorry if I didn't pronounce her name correctly, but yeah, this book revolves around a 10-year-old girl called as Mary Lennox, who's an orphan, okay, lived in India, okay, with her parents, but due to cholera outbreak her parents died, and due to which she moved in with her uncle, okay. Her uncle have only one son who was very ill, and his wife died, okay. The servants in the house, okay, in her uncle's house, were more strict than her own house, okay, and they even warned her of not roaming in the mansion so often. You should stay in your room for most of the time. So as a curious little girl, she doesn't give a the words, and she roams around the manor, and she finds a secret garden there. A secret garden. So okay, there's nothing evil about the secret garden, but she finds a secret that this garden was owned by her aunt, that is uncle's wife, and after her death this garden was completely abandoned and it was locked. So she's the first one to go into that garden after her aunt's death, and she finds a lot of secrets and how good the garden is. Yeah, so this book revolves around like the theme of nature, how nature is healing and how you should not abandon nature. I like such kind of genre. This reminds me more of my young version. I'll be reading this book for sure. The last book that I bought, I don't have this book right now. That book is called as Better Than the Movie. So that book is a viral book that is going on the internet. It's a very, very, very famous book right now, and I've thought of like reading it. So today I read like 2 chapters, and it's amazing. It already just made my mind that I should read this book. So this book is based on this plot called as Enemies to Lovers. I like such kind of plot. So this book is around on a girl called as Liz, and she loves she loves watching romantic films with her mother, but unfortunately her mother is dead right now. She finds comfort in all those romantic films, and after seeing all these romantic films, she made her mind that she needs a guy like in the films. So what happens is that she finds her childhood friend again, who's called as Wes. He also becomes her neighbor, but they don't get along with each other. They always fight, but Wes has a friend, okay. He's called as Michael, and Michael is a best friend of Wes. Okay, now Liz likes Michael. So in order to fall in love with Michael or to know more about Michael, Liz has to get closer with Wes. He might introduce her, or they might even get into a relationship. So in order to to know more about Michael, to be more friends with Michael, she started talking to Wes again, even though she didn't like him. Like Wes. So slowly and gradually she understands that more than Michael, she likes Wes. She likes the company of Wes. So From enemies they turn to lovers. So the plot is very predictable, but the journey through the book is amazing as per the reviews on YouTube and Google. And I'm looking very much forward to read this book. See, I'm not a person who read romance, like young adult romances. I'm very much into thrillers, but after a very long time, I thought of reading a young romance, and I think it won't disappoint me. So that's all about the book that I bought in the book fair. And talking more about the book fair, I went like 3 or 5 days before. I went like by evening time, and it was very much crowded, and it was Saturday. It was very, very crowded, and there were a lot of stalls, a lot of people. You know what? Even to discover one row of those stalls, it took me like 3 hours. Yeah, it's very much crowded, so you can go on a weekday. I went out with my friends, and it was very nice experience, because in my life I've never went to a book fair, and it's happening in Chennai, and it was very nice. But talking about the book prices, it was somehow similar to the books that I buy in normal store, and I thought book fair must have like a cheaper version of books, but they didn't have. They just offered 10% off, but which didn't make any difference. But the stalls which was present outside the book fair had a lot of discounts. I got like many books which are very expensive in half of the price. Books are very expensive, and buying books, good books which are in good condition at such rates, like inspires me, makes me happy a lot. And yeah, so that's the experience that I got from the book fair. So if you like such kind of bookish content, please do subscribe and also follow me on Instagram. Thank you for watching my content and this video. I hope it made you feel good. Thank you for watching. Bye.